So a lot of people talk about reishi. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a top medicinal mushroom, really hard, rock hard mushroom that grows on trees. And a lot of people talk about it because it's got immune boosting properties, or it's the mushroom of immortality. So I think today we're going to cover some juicy news on reishi specifically. I found this article on Reddit. There is an awesome subreddit that is called r/mushroom extracts news. So we are taking the juicy news from there. And let me just start out by reading the title of this article. And scientific articles aren't for everybody, but they give a real good insight about, the research and the news that's been happening. So this article, I guess this was posted in 2008, but it's called Reishi Immunomodulation. Protein induces interleukin 2 expression via protein kinase dependent signaling pathways within human T cells. It's very off-putting. Like, what's the words you even knew in there? Protein? Reishi? Human? So, as we like to do, let us turn to ChatGPT, because that is a really good way to kind of break down and digest a lot of these scientific articles. So, just to start, we are going to break down the title. This is going to be titled, How a Protein from Reishi Mushrooms Boosts the Immune System by Activating Human T Cells. Way more approachable. Well, welcome to Flora Funga Podcast with your host, KK. This is a unique bonus episode like we like to do every other week. We dive into some juicy news articles. I have an awesome new book that I want to plug. A little ASMR for you. Back to the juicy news. So we already summarized the title of this research study. And similar to that crazy off-putting title, the summary and the rest of the research actually really matches. Feel free to take a look. I have posted the link to the article down below. But like we like to do here on Flora Funga Podcast, we like to break it down. We like to get down and nerdy. We definitely wanted to make it more of a digestible description for you. But I want to try something a little bit different this week. Let me tell you a real cool science story. There's a magical mushroom called reishi. Some people call it the mushroom immortality because it's been used for hundreds of years to help people stay healthy. Now, inside this mushroom, scientists found that tiny little helper called LZ8. Think of LZ8 like a tiny coach that talks to your T cells like, yeah, you got this T cell. Yeah, you got this little reishi. Those are the little soldiers in your body that fight off germs and keep you from getting sick. So what does this LZ8 coach do? It tells the T cell to make something called IL-2. IL-2 is like a megaphone that tells other immune cells, hey, get in here and help out. That'd be so funny at picturing. That makes your body even better for fighting off bad stuff. But scientists want to know how LZ8 coach sends this message. So that's really what the research, I guess, is really about. So they made a copy of LZ8 in a lab, kind of like cloning it. Then they gave it some T cells and watched what happened. Guess what? What? They saw the T cells light up with little signals, like flipping on switches in a spaceship control room. Those signals told the cells to make more IL-2. Even cooler, what could be cooler than that? Even cooler, the cells made little sparks called ROS, which helped the message travel faster and stronger, like turning up the volume on a speaker. So in the end, the reishi mushroom has his secret little coach protein that helps him train your immune cells to be faster, stronger, and better at keeping you healthy. Pretty cool for a mushroom, huh? So I guess if you like juicy news articles, if you want me to continue doing them, typing them into ChatGPT, giving you the juicy news, let me know. DM me, share this with a friend. These are fun. These are really fun. So thank you, Kevin, for actually helping me find this article as well. I kind of forget about Reddit. He's a big Reddit user. Comment down below if you like Reddit or what's your favorite subreddit so I can tell Kevin, because he likes the weirdest stuff and I love him for it. it. And just some updates. I got back from my trip from Arizona, so shout out to Desert Alchemist, Hernan, and Cassie for hosting us. It was such an amazing time. I had a blast. We went morel foraging, we went hiking, we tried all these new foods, met some cool people. I went from 90 degrees in the desert at a desert museum to down to 40, 45 degrees in Flagstaff and saw snow. So within 1 week, I saw so much biodiversity, and I kind of want to say that Florida versus Arizona, I love the dry weather out in Arizona, and also I think the biodiversity is much greater just because there's such a unique difference within the climate and topography. Here in Florida, it's like sea level, sometimes under sea level. So it was really hard for Kevin and I to kind of adapt to the hikes. Since we went, 5,000 feet, morels are good at 8,000 feet, between that range. So it was just a lot on us, but no humidity. Here in Florida, it is like 90% humidity, 90 degrees. There was like 90 degrees and 10, I don't even know what the humidity was, but I laid outside for 2 hours and didn't even really break a sweat. That is unheard of in Florida. You are dripping within 1 minute. So trip was really fun, and actually got to meet up with one of my friends. So shout out to Katie if she is listening. That was really fun to meet up with you and your boyfriend at the Desert Museum. And also we got to take a VIP behind the scenes tour of the Desert Museum. So shout out to Justin. Thank you, Justin, for taking us behind the scenes and letting us hold some of those lizards. We saw different Gila monsters. Actually, he was the one who taught us some of the facts of Gila monster, so we could make that little plant weight video and also the Gila monster video. So thank you for, showing us kind of the ins and outs of what the Desert Museum has to offer. It was kind of like a zoo, but also botanical garden combined. It was really interesting. All right, so I wanted to kind of shout out this awesome book. So first of all, I love the texture of this book. I know it sounds stupid. It seems like it's like made out of paper, but actually it feels like it's like a cardboard feel. Anyway, the book is called Latine Herbalism. So we are discovering the art of modern curanderismo. Delve into healing traditions of the Latin folk herbalism and modern curanderismo, with this all-in-one guidebook offering a fusion of time-honored and contemporary practices. This book shows details of the medicinal power of herbs and plants, their origins, and their most common uses, while also exploring the folk traditions from sacred locations in the US, Mexico, and South America. This book even goes one step further, helping you navigate through the most common afflictions of body and mind, from digestion issues to stress management and beyond. So yeah, we got some breath work, sun and moon energy, spirit of the flowers, healing herbal preparations, and much more. Something that I wanted to cover on this episode when I interview is what is beneficial for bloating. I feel like a lot of people really like the mushroom coffee because it helps with bloating, and I put air quotation around there just because coffee is a diuretic. Like, you're gonna yourself. Like, it moves through you. No duh that mushroom coffee or coffee is going to help with bloat, because you're moving through, literally. But a lot of people don't realize that caffeine is an inflammatory. So something that I figured out quickly is coffee, specifically like the coffee fruit, coffee bean, affects me negatively. It causes inflammation. Some people don't really realize that. If you have a sensitivity to caffeine, definitely don't try mushroom coffee. Somebody actually came up to me at the market and was like, hey, people are telling me to try this mushroom coffee for my stomach issues, but I have a sensitivity to coffee. And I was like, then please don't drink the coffee. Please don't drink the coffee. So yeah, I'm glad I was there to kind of help her and guide her with that. I'm not a doctor. I can't really give real medical advice, but listen to your body. If you're having negative effects from caffeine, I don't think that caffeine will be the answer for you. So yeah, I really want to interview Josie. Yeah, so Josie will be the person that I'm interviewing May 21st. So I'm excited about that. She sent me her book, so thank you for that. And we are going to talk about recommendations on how to reduce the bloat. I wanted to kind of keep it short and simple, and thank you, Mr. Trippy, for being a sponsor, as always. Thank you. He has been so helpful, and I really appreciate everything that Mr. Trippy does. Well, thank you, Happy Mushroom, for being the sponsor of Flora Funga Podcast. And at the end of this month, I will be looking for additional sponsors. So please hit me up, DM me. All the links are down below at Flora Funga Podcast, or you can email me at floraandfungapodcast@gmail.com. All right, well, have a great week, my scientists, and go learn something new today. Peaches.